He thought he could embarrass a black man in a uniform and get away with it, but then the royal guard made one call, and the palace came knocking at his door. It was supposed to be just a quick stop, nothing big. Before diving into the story, let me know where you're watching from in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the latest stories. Cedric Montague had driven down the A47 road from Norfolk to King's Lynn many times before. He knew this road like the back of his hand, the sharp turns, the long lines of tall trees, and sometimes a small village with an old gas station that had just one pump covered in dust. It wasn't new to him. But today, his GPS wasn't working right. After a new update, it kept showing the wrong directions. So when he saw a small gravel spot by the road with a faded sign that said Wellsworth 4 miles, he pulled his black car over, put it in park, and started tapping on his phone. This wasn't a normal phone, it was special, made for the royal guard. If anyone tried to mess with it, it would shut off completely. He was wearing a plain white shirt and pants, nothing fancy. His jacket, the one with the royal guard symbol sewn on it, was folded neatly on the back seat. He didn't think he'd need it. 2 minutes, he told himself. That's all this would take. But then he heard the sound of gravel crunching behind him. He looked in his rearview mirror and saw a police car with blue lights flashing quietly, no loud siren. The words Wellsworth Police were written on the side, but they were hard to read because the paint was old. The door opened, and a big man stepped out. He had short hair, wore shiny sunglasses, and kept one hand near his gun. He didn't walk slowly or say hello like most cops would. Instead, he marched right up to Cedric's window and banged on it hard with his knuckles. Cedric rolled the window down halfway. "Good afternoon, officer," he said calmly. "What are you doing here?" the cop asked in a rough voice. His name tag said Harrington. "I pulled over to fix my GPS." "It's not working," Cedric answered. Harrington leaned closer and looked inside the car. "Where are you going?" "Just fixing my route," Cedric said, keeping his voice steady. Harrington stepped back and put his hand on his gun, loosening the strap. "Get out of the car." "For checking my GPS?" Cedric asked, surprised. "This is private land. People dump trash here all the time. You look like one of them." Cedric took a deep breath through his nose and opened the door slowly. He'd dealt with tough situations before, standing guard in busy cities, protecting important people, even facing rude stares from folks who didn't like how he looked. But this didn't feel right. This wasn't how cops were supposed to act. "I'll get out," Cedric said, his voice still calm, "but I haven't done anything wrong." "You're not listening to me," Harrington snapped. "I've done everything you asked," Cedric replied. Harrington grabbed Cedric's arm and pulled him to the back of the car. There was no other cop with him, and Cedric didn't see a body camera. Harrington's radio made a noise, but he didn't answer it. "Put your hands on the trunk," he ordered. Cedric stopped for a second. "Sir, I'm a royal guard. My ID is in the car. Please let me get it." "I said hands on the trunk," Harrington shouted. He grabbed Cedric's arm harder, turned him around, and pushed his hands onto the warm metal of the car. Then he kicked Cedric's legs apart. Cedric didn't push back or yell. He just said quietly, "You're making a mistake." But Harrington didn't listen. A van drove by on the road and slowed down. A woman in the front seat rolled her window down a little and held up her phone. A boy in the back was already filming with his phone too. They didn't say anything or try to help, but they watched. Something felt wrong about this, the way Cedric stayed so calm, the way Harrington acted so angry. The cop was breathing fast, not because he was tired, but because he was excited. He didn't know who Cedric really was, not yet. But that was about to change. "I'm not saying it again," Harrington barked, his hand still near his gun. "You're under arrest." Cedric kept his hands on the trunk and didn't move. "I ask that you call your boss or let me get my ID," he said politely. "You don't tell me what to do," Harrington shot back. The boy from the van got out and kept filming. His dad stood next to him, arms crossed, watching quietly. The air felt heavy, like something big was about to happen. I'm not fighting you, Cedric said again, speaking slowly, but I need to tell you who I am. I'm Sir Cedric Montague, a royal guard. My ID is in my briefcase in the car. Harrington laughed a little. You think I'll believe that? Just look at it, Cedric said. But Harrington didn't. Instead, he talked into his radio, his voice low and hard to hear over the static. Cedric caught a few words: suspicious man and might have a weapon. Cedric turned his head a bit. I don't have a weapon, he said. People like you always do, Harrington said sharply. People like me? Cedric asked, but Harrington ignored him. He kept talking on the radio, asking for more cops to come to County Road 12 because there was trouble. Cedric didn't say anything else. He'd learned a long time ago that when someone was acting tough for no reason, the best thing to do was wait. They'd mess up on their own. He looked over at the van. The dad was leaning on the window now, his face serious. The people watching weren't just curious anymore, they looked worried. You're making this bigger than it needs to be, Cedric said gently. You don't tell me how to do my job, Harrington replied. I'm asking you to do it the right way, Cedric said. Harrington stepped closer. Are you threatening me? No, sir, Cedric said, his eyes narrowing a little. I'm helping you. Harrington smirked for a second, like he thought that was funny. Then he reached into Cedric's back pocket, pulled out his wallet, and started flipping through it fast. He didn't really look at anything until he stopped. There, behind a regular card, was a special ID from the palace with a gold symbol on it. Level 3, it said. Harrington's face changed, but he tried to hide it. Where'd you get this? He muttered. I earned it, Cedric said. 15 years working for the royal family. Harrington closed the wallet and stepped back, but not too far. He didn't want to look like he was wrong. You should have said that earlier, he grumbled. I did, Cedric answered. Harrington's cheeks turned red, but he didn't give up. You can't stop here anyway, he said. I wasn't staying. I was fixing my GPS, Cedric told him. Harrington turned away and looked at the road. More people had stopped, 2 cars now, and they were all holding up phones, recording. Wait here for another cop, he said. Okay, Cedric replied. But when they get here, I want to make a phone call. To your lawyer? Harrington asked, raising an eyebrow. No, Cedric said. To the palace. Harrington stared at him, waiting for Cedric to smile or laugh. But Cedric didn't. In the distance, a siren started. Another cop was coming, but it was still far away. In those few minutes, everything was going to turn upside down. Too many people were watching now for this to stay quiet. The sirens got louder, echoing through the trees. Harrington started walking back and forth, looking at the growing crowd, 3 cars now, all filming. He wasn't acting like a cop anymore, he was acting like someone who was scared of losing control. Turn around, he ordered Cedric. Cedric didn't move. I've already told you who I am. You're stopping me from doing my job. Harrington yelled. I'm not stopping you, Cedric said. I'm standing here with no weapons, doing what you say. Harrington grabbed Cedric's wrist, twisted it hard, and put handcuffs on him. The metal was tight and hurt his skin. People by the road gasped. The boy with the phone came closer and whispered something to his dad, who started filming too. This is all on video, Cedric said quietly. I'm not threatening you, just telling you the truth. You think that changes anything? Harrington hissed. It will, sooner or later, Cedric said. Harrington pushed Cedric toward the police car, opened the back door, and shoved him inside without saying anything. No rights, no explanation. The gravel moved under Cedric's feet, but he didn't trip or fight back. Harrington was being rough, and Cedric could feel it, not just in his hands but in the way the cop talked. He was trying to show he was in charge, maybe to prove something to himself. A man's voice came from the road, You're going to regret this. It was the dad from the van, calm but firm, with a local accent. Stay out of it. Harrington shouted. I can't now, the man said. Harrington slammed the car door shut and went to the front. He leaned in, fumbling with his radio, his voice shaky. Cedric sat in the back, hands behind him, breathing slowly. 1, 2, 3. He didn't know who Harrington was trying to impress, the other cops, the people watching, or himself, but he was falling apart. Cedric could hear it in his nervous words over the radio. Harrington hadn't even looked at the ID properly or noticed the Royal Guard symbol on the jacket in the back seat. But someone else did. The boy walked closer to the road and zoomed in with his phone. "It says Royal Guard on his jacket," he whispered to his dad. "You got that on video?" his dad asked. "Yeah, the symbol and everything," the boy said. 2 more police cars pulled up, one from the county, one from the state. A tall man with a gray beard stepped out of one. His name was Constable Peter Drayton. He didn't pull his gun or run over. He walked slowly to Harrington, who met him halfway, arms crossed tight. Cedric couldn't hear what they said, but Harrington's hands were moving fast, like he was upset. Drayton looked at the police car where Cedric was, then walked over and opened the back door. "What's your name, sir?" he asked. "Sir Cedric Montague, Royal Guard," Cedric said. "Did he see your ID?" Drayton asked. "He had it in his hands," Cedric replied. Drayton nodded once, closed the door, and went back to Harrington. They talked quietly. Harrington stood stiff, like he didn't want to back down. Drayton looked at the crowd, then at Harrington again. A few seconds later, he came back and opened the door. "Do you want to call someone, sir?" he asked. "Yes," Cedric said. "One person." Drayton pulled out his own phone and gave it to Cedric. This wasn't just about fixing a mistake anymore, it was about making things right. Cedric held the phone with both hands, the cuffs making it hard, but he didn't shake. He knew the number by heart. It was a direct line to someone at the palace who had worked with him for years, planning his duties at royal homes. The phone rang once, twice. "Captain Ellis speaking," a voice answered. "This is Sir Cedric Montague. I'm being held by Wellsworth police in a car with handcuffs. I need you to send proof of who I am right now." A pause. "Are you okay, sir?" "For now," Cedric said. "They need to check my ID. People are recording this." The cop didn't follow the rules. "Got it," Ellis said. "Stay on the line. I'm telling the palace and the Home Office." The line clicked, and a new voice came on. "Commander Tate here. We've found your car's location from its plates. The palace is calling the local police now, 5 minutes." "Thank you," Cedric said. He gave the phone back to Drayton through the open door. Drayton took it, glanced at Harrington, who was still standing by his car, and walked off to make his own call. Cedric heard bits of it. "Yes, sir, it's true. I'll wait." 5 minutes later, new tires rolled onto the gravel. 3 black SUVs pulled up, no names or signs on them, just dark windows. The doors opened all at once. 2 men in suits with tiny earpieces got out, and another man in a full Royal Guard uniform stepped from the first car. His name was Major Lionel Vance, someone famous among the guards. He walked straight past Drayton and Harrington to Cedric's door and opened it. "Sir, are you okay?" he asked, his voice calm but serious. "I'm fine," Cedric said. "Just my wrists hurt a little." "We'll take it from here," Vance said. He turned to Drayton. "Who's in charge?" "I got here 10 minutes ago," Drayton said. "He started it." He pointed at Harrington. Vance walked over to Harrington. "Do you know who that man is?" he asked. Harrington tried to stand tall. "He didn't show me ID until I cuffed him." "He told you his name and job," Vance said. "You held his palace ID. That's a Royal Guard you put in your car." Harrington started to talk, but his voice broke. Vance stopped him. "Don't say anything. This is going to your boss and the Home Office." Drayton called for the Wellsworth police chief on his radio. Cedric stepped out of the car on his own. His wrists were red from the tight cuffs, but he didn't complain. The crowd got closer, staying quiet. Do you want to press charges, sir? Vance asked. Not yet, Cedric said. Let it go through the right people. Let everyone see what happened. Word spread fast, first with whispers, then online. The boy's video went up on the internet, real and unedited, and people started watching it like crazy. By evening, the Wellsworth police chief, Alan Croft, showed up. He was older, with gray hair and a slight limp. He looked at the SUVs, Harrington standing alone, and Cedric standing tall. What's going on here? He asked, not loud but firm. Major Vance, Palace Guard, Vance said. Your officer held one of our men for no reason. Croft looked at Harrington. Is that true, Paul? He wouldn't listen, Harrington started. Did you check his ID? Croft asked. It didn't look real, Harrington said. Didn't look real? Croft said slowly. He turned to Cedric. Sir Montague, I'm sorry. This shouldn't have happened. Thank you, Cedric said. But it's not about me. It's about what he did when he thought I was nobody. Vance nodded. We're telling the Home Office. This wasn't just a mistake, it was against the law. Harrington flinched but didn't speak. Too many phones were still pointed at him. Croft sighed. Paul, you're done for now. Give me your badge and gun. Harrington handed them over slowly, looking shocked. Croft held them up for everyone to see. This isn't how we treat people here. Nobody deserves this. The boy from the van stepped forward. Want the video, sir? He asked Croft. Croft smiled a little. Yes, son. Thank you for filming. Cedric went to his car and put on his jacket. The Royal Guard symbol shone in the fading sunlight. Harrington turned away, and Drayton took his keys so he couldn't leave. By the next morning, the video was everywhere online, #SirCedric, #Wellsworth, #JusticeOnVideo. News trucks lined the road. Cedric drove away quietly that night to a royal house nearby, not making a big deal out of it. He just called his wife and went home. But people started gathering outside the Wellsworth police station, not a huge crowd, but enough to make noise. Old guards held up pictures of Cedric at royal events, with the king. They found out Harrington had gotten in trouble before 2 times with black drivers, but nothing happened then. He left town later and got a job with no badge or gun. Cedric didn't talk much, but he spoke at a small meeting with other guards in Norfolk. I've protected palaces and faced tough times far away. But that road? That hurt more. We need people to be honest, not angry. A few days later, Harrington lost his job, too much force, breaking rules. Wellsworth police started training their cops to think about how they treat people. The boy, Jamie, kept filming and made videos about what's right and wrong. His first one, I didn't know him, but I knew it wasn't fair, got tons of views. Cedric watched it one night, then went outside. The sky was orange and pink. He didn't feel proud or happy, just sure that staying calm had made a difference. Sometimes, doing the right thing isn't loud. It's steady, caught on camera by regular people, making the world look at itself. If this story makes you think, share it. Speak up. Film it. Say something when things aren't right.